So good to see you, and to offer my personal condolences.
We've had some a difficult journey the last few months, but with Carrie, you know, it's in many ways it's like her presence is even more felt than ever. Kind of like in Star Wars when Obi-Wan leaves us. I felt like her presence has doubled down when they had the march in Washington. And they chose her, you know, to be the face of all of the movement.
The resistance, yes.
Of the movement. Well, isn't that more powerful than ever? So it's kind of like all about the Force, and she's very much part of the Force.
Very much. You know, it's funny, the last time I saw your mom was here on this carpet, and I got to interview her. And she thought it was so funny because I had never had a chance to tell her before. I was named for her.
A lot of women walk up to me, they're named either Tammy or Debbie, and almost inevitably their parents named them after Debbie. But you know what? That's a pretty cool thing to do, and it's not a bad thing to do. You could be named after a person that doesn't hold such a high standard, but my mother was a class act. She held a very high standard, and so you could do no worse. She was truly a great person and a great person to be named after. And I meet thousands of people that say those words, but I think it's a good thing. You know, no one's embarrassed about it.
No, and it's over the years. I mean, I got to see her perform in Vegas. I actually got to go through the warehouse of costumes that she had around the corner from my apartment in North Hollywood.
Still do.
You didn't get rid of everything.
No, in fact, the stuff that's on display here came from North Hollywood before it got over here. So we still store things there.
And I have to say, because I took a look at the costumes that are on display here from Unsinkable Molly Brown and Singing in the Rain, and out of all the costumes that I've seen from the past, these are still the most well-preserved. And I think it's a testament to your mom at the care and the expense to take care of things like that.
Yeah, she spent her last penny on this stuff, not just acquiring it, but as you say, preserving it. Initially, when she first bought it all, she didn't understand the baggage that would come with it, which is the grave responsibility of making sure that it's here for future generations. We went to the Victoria and Albert Museum back in the early 90s where they showed us how to preserve textiles. And they said, what's the goal? We said, well, the goal is that this is our royalty, Hollywood royalty. How can we make sure these costumes will be here in 100 years or 500 years? So they showed us, and it wasn't cheap, wasn't easy, but every single costume she bought was repacked carefully and preserved. And so hopefully for hundreds of years, we will be able to break these things out and enjoy them again and connect with those magical moments in film.
Now, have you thought about doing a traveling road show of the costumes?
We have talked about it over the years and have done it even to some degree, but you know, her huge collection was liquidated in 2011, and so it's still a big collection of stuff, in particular her stuff. I never sold any of her stuff, nor will I. You have to pry that out of my cold, dead fingers someday. But no, we're going to keep her stuff. And we have a lot of other very important pieces that could be toured. I would like to see it, obviously, in a permanent home someday. We're going to put things on display at the studio in North Hollywood, at Debbie Reynolds Dance Studio. And when we do that, hopefully we'll get it in a position where a lot of people can enjoy it. But a tour is a great thing. The right tour comes along, we would loan things to the tour. There's been problems, though, you know, depending upon... My mother will tell you this story about Audrey Hepburn's dress from My Fair Lady. All those costumes disappeared on a little famous tour during the premiere of My Fair Lady. All the costumes. So, you know, you can tour things, and then depending upon who's in charge, things might come home and they might not. They might find themselves to somebody's living room.
Sounds like a Tom Brady jersey fiasco.
There's been a few of those. She always had that nightmare, though, of knowing the truth of that. That made her nervous.
Oh, so now what's next for you, Todd?
Oh, we're working on a lot of things right now. I have a studio up in San Luis Obispo County, and we have a studio in Las Vegas, and we continue to produce things. We just finished doing the Bright Lights documentary for HBO. We have a follow-up piece that we are looking into right now on that. We also have a whole series about Carrie and my upbringing that has been something we parked for a long time that we may choose to bring out. So there's a lot of things that could be brought to bear that would reflect well on Debbie and Carrie.
Well, Todd, whatever you do, I will support it 1,000%.
Well, thank you. And we keep that namesake under control.
I will try.
Important legacy.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Your mother will make sure of that.
Oh, she passed away a few years ago, but
no, that doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. They still.
She's haunting.
It's funny. She told me for years. She said, "Don't worry. When I'm dead, I'm still going to haunt you." And guess what?
She's here.
And
my mom is here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
She's got me. You saw the stuff out. I'm always thinking, okay, what would she do? What would she want?
The red dress.
There it is.
And the green dress.
And the good morning.
And the boots.
Gotta have the boots. Good to meet you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.